We back. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that has been showing my content love, liking, commenting, subscribing. I really do appreciate it. The channel is growing. I started this channel with how many subscribers? Zero, and now we're sitting on 29, which is progress. No matter how small it is. But yeah, man, thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for appreciating my comment. I mean my content. And as much as I'm doing a sit down video, I think it's time for me to stop naming it like a sit down video. I think it's time for me to get it like a cool name, like something to think about. You know what I mean? And this is officially episode number one of something to think about. And the reason why I'm calling it something to think about is because I genuinely think about a lot. I think everybody thinks a lot. I think everybody's an overthinker to some degree. I think that everybody lives in their own mind. I think everybody's reality is different because they live in their own minds. And I generally think that your mind is the only thing that you can control. And I realize that, the more I think about stuff, the more feedback I get towards the things that I'm thinking about. And the more I use my mind to articulate the ideas that I have in my brain or the ideas that I have in my head, is the more that I can impact people and give value to them. So, with that being said, that is something to think about in and itself. And the reason why I'm going to call my episodes or my sit down videos something to think about is because I actually thought about what I was going to post. I actually thought about what I was going to talk about, right? And the reason why I want to do this is because I feel like everybody thinks about something. And I really feel like it's a cool word. Now, to you, it may not be, but to me, it is. And it's my channel. So I'm going to do whatever I want on my channel, right? And something that I was also thinking about is having different people on the platform, especially females. Um, just because they have a different perspective, and a different view and a different. Females are just different. Okay, so also get gents on that have a different perspective and a different view into the world. I don't want to have people that have the same mentality as me. I want people that are going to challenge my mentality and just challenge how I think. And I really feel like by me doing so, I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to ascend myself into a different, you know, enchilada, into a different universe. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to better myself in everything that I do, whether it be in the gym, making more money, shaking hands with some of the most influential people in the world, sitting down with people and actually hearing their thoughts and actually hearing how they think, that could also shape how I think, and I really feel like it's a very important thing to also have different people around you that think differently from what you think. Like if you're always just constantly thinking about YouTube, I think it will be very refreshing about a person that's always constantly thinking about business. Now, as much as YouTube can be business, and as much as YouTube can make money, and it does make money, it's also different to actually building a business outside of YouTube, right? It's two different things, okay? And I think having a person like that in your corner, having a person that actually thinks about business and actually thinks about things that you don't think about, I think that's very beneficial into your life, right? And I really feel like, and I would like to encourage everybody also to, have a person that thinks differently from you know, and that's why I want to get, different people onto the platform. Obviously, as we get people and as we get guests on the platform, I'm gonna have to chop and change a few stuff. It won't just be like a sit down like this anymore. Maybe it would be like a mukbang. However, the content will still be valuable. Maybe I would get like a hot girl and just how can I say this? Just have a different perspective on what her world is like. Because imagine this. Imagine you like a 10 out of 10 and every guy's DMing you. You have achieved nothing. You still like maybe 20, 22, like you still maybe studying, you don't even have a diploma or a degree or whatever the case may be. All you have is like a matric certificate. And like some of the most wealthiest guys in the world are DMing you. Some of the most influential guys are DMing you. Like imagine how that life is like. So I would like to like have a person that is, in that world and just hear what they think and how things are different for them. I mean, if you like that and you're female and you're already born with that and you're pretty and you got a beautiful body, beautiful skin tone, and all of these things, I'm sure things are on easy mode. I might be wrong. And that's the reason why I want different people on the platform, because what I think and what is actually is, I don't think it's that far from reality, or it's that far from being true, but I could also be wrong. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, my sit down videos, or I'm now going to name them something to think about. And my sit down videos, after I've named them something to think about, I'm going to get different guests onto the platform that's going to give us something to think about that is different from what the norm is already thinking about. You know, um, just just something different, man. You know what I mean? Just something different, something to kind of like shock the system and shock the brain a little bit and be like, you know what? Maybe some of you guys are watching this and you're actually wondering why that girl is not answering your DM. Then maybe that girl, if she comes onto that platform or my platform, you can understand why, you know? Just something to think about, you know what I mean? And recently I've been thinking about a lot. And I've been thinking about my personal life, to be honest, and how things just turned out, you know. And I realized that I fucked up. I realized that it was my fault that I'm not at the place that I want to be. I realized that the decisions that I've made and the decisions that I've took, those are the decisions that have kept me here. Because right now I'm in a place whereby I really feel like I should have been in a different place. And you are where you are because of the decisions that you made, right? So, with that being said, I just want to encourage everybody to think about the things that you're fucked up. Now, I know sometimes, like, I'm all about positivity and stuff like that, but sometimes I think thinking about the things that you did that fucked up your life, that is kind of like the foundation or the base of just taking accountability of everything that you have done. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if I realize that I fucked up, or you realize that you are fucked up, you then now have a base of where now to work. Because now, if you realize that, that means you're feeding something to your system. You're getting feedback. Okay, I realize I fucked up because of that, or X, Y, Z, or one, two, three. Okay, now I can try and avoid one, two, three. And sometimes lessons, they're going to repeat themselves up until you learn the lesson. That's just how the universe works, and that's just how God works. God teaches you a lesson, or he tests you first and then gives you the lesson, right? So I've learned my lessons and I've realized that I fucked up. And right now I'm giving myself a window period whereby I can get my shit together. And I want to encourage each and every one of you guys to do the exact same thing. Realize where you fucked up, realize where you made your mistakes. And after you've realized that, right, give yourself a window period of how you're going to get back into that groove. It is very important to think about that, right? Because how are you going to develop if you don't realize, if you don't give yourself feedback? Feedback is what makes you great. I can only imagine how much Floyd watches videos of other opponents. Not just other opponents, but how much he watches videos of himself training, of himself fighting. And then he analyzes himself and he's like, okay, you know what? If I did that better, even though it's 50 and 0, there's always something he could have done better, right? Even if he looks back and he'd be like, okay, I've got a perfect track record. However, my fights and how I fought, I could have fought differently because of I could have tweaked this, or that guy caught me because of I didn't duck quick enough, or I moved slightly towards that side, right? And I feel like he is the best in the world because he self analyzes himself, he gives himself feedback. And I think we all can learn from that, and especially, you know, from people like me also, you know, people that are actually saying, you know what, I've fucked up. I have fucked up. I fucked up a lot, right? I shouldn't have been here. Should have been far, very far, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm actually realizing that. And the beautiful thing about this, that after I've realized this and after I've actually had deep thoughts about this, because I'm recording now, but days before this, I was thinking about this, all right? I've now realized, okay, the mistakes that I've made, I've actually fine tuned how I'm going to elevate now, right? The lessons are now becoming my learning material in order for me to ascend, in order for me to get to the next place, to get to the next step of my life, to the next level of my life, right? And there is no going back right now because I do understand what happened. In life, you have to self analyze yourself, you have to give yourself feedback. You know, I'm recording a video right now. Before I post it, I'm gonna analyze how I articulated myself, right? How did I say did I say did I stutter? How many times did I do that? How can I combat that? How can I improve my delivery? How can I improve not saying or stuttering? You know, all of these things, they actually are feedback towards me. And it's only gonna make the channel great, it's only gonna make me great. It's only, I mean, if I want to conquer the world and I can't articulate myself well, how am I going to do that? If I can't have the ideas that I have in my head, transfer them into words so I can speak them, and them making sense and actually delivering and actually landing to the person next to me. How can I conquer the world if I can't do that? And I know that's being very hard on myself, but who else is going to be hard on me? Who else is going to knock on my door and say, hey, KG, you need to go to the gym? Who else is going to knock on my door and say, hey, KG, you know what? You need to start posting more on YouTube? Who else is going to do that? Nobody's going to do that. So I have to do that by myself. So I want to encourage you guys to also, like, not to be hard on yourself, you know, but be hard enough to actually improve your life. Because if you don't do that, nobody else will. If you don't smoke weed, nobody else will stop smoking weed for you. If you don't stop drinking, nobody else is going to stop drinking for you. If you actually analyze the chessboard and actually look at your life from a third person's point of view, nobody's coming to save you. Everything is 100% your responsibility. And by you knowing that now, but just by watching this video, just by you knowing that, if you don't change your words, if you don't change your actions, if you don't change the way you approach life, trust and believe you me, you will stay exactly where you are. I have realized that I fucked up. And now the lessons that I've learned from actually analyzing how much I have fucked up and the lessons that I should have extracted from the lessons that God has given me, I now have a base of where I can jump. I now have a base of where I could work. I now have a base of where, you know what, I can be like, okay, I don't want to be there no more. It's time for me to go to the next level. Okay, let's go. First step, boom. Okay, I don't want to go back there. Why don't I want to go there? Because of the bases, blah, 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 blah. Understand what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I would like to encourage each and every one of you guys to start giving yourself feedback when it comes to certain stuff in your life. Give yourself feedback. You know, before you post a vlog, okay, edit, whatever the case may be, however you want to go about it, you know, do what you need to do, right? However, before you post it, just look, okay, what could I have done better? Okay, this transition could have been better there. Okay, if you're a rugby player, okay, get footage from your coaches. Ask yourself, okay, could I have cleaned that ruck better? Okay, could I have went around that guy? Could I have sidestepped him? Could I have went direct? You know, if you're a soccer player, could I have crossed that ball earlier? Could I have had a softer touch? You know, my first touch, how is it? Analyze yourself. Okay, there's nothing wrong with analyzing yourself because then you're going to get feedback. And once you get feedback, you're only going to get better. You have to be hard on yourself because nobody else will. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. And even when it comes to relationships, right? For a girl to leave you or for you to leave a girl, you have to analyze why the relationship ended. There's a boy of mine that ended up breaking up with a girl that he's been dating for almost 3 years. And I asked him, like, dude, why did you guys break up? Ah, dog, can't even answer me, right? Because he hasn't self-analyzed. And I guarantee you, as much as the girl has an attitude, blah, 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 whatever the case may be, it's 100% his fault. He is the reason why the girl left. And sometimes girls, yes, they fuck up. I get it, right? But I feel like if you a man and you get into a relationship and you the man that you're supposed to be and you attract a girl, I feel like if you are that guy, it's going to be very hard for the girl to leave you. And if she leaves, you have to be so exceptional that it's hard for her to replace you. She may try, but she may never get a better you. So everything is 100% your fault. And I think with self-analyzing and actually getting feedback from how you move as an individual and how you conduct yourself as an individual, how you can take the things and the ideas that are in your mind and articulating them to the world, how you can do that, it's exceptionally important, because then you're going to get better. But with that being said, this is the end of the video. This is episode 1 of something to think about, and episode 2 is definitely going to come. And obviously realize also, especially with the type of content that I'm giving out, I have to go through life in order to talk about stuff. I don't want to be these guys that make up stories. I don't want to be these guys that just mimic and come onto the internet and just talk crap. I don't want to be those guys. I want to go through life stuff and actually talk about life stuff that I am going through, and hopefully it could impact somebody else out there. Because what else am I talking about? What talking about what fiction? I need to talk about my life so that you guys can resonate with me. But with that being said, thank you for tuning in, and yeah, see you guys in the next video.